Hello, this is Danae, and let's go through part 2 of our spinach, mushroom, and sausage pie, or quiche, if you'd like to call it that. Let me tell you a little bit about the ingredients. We're going to put some Swiss cheese, and this is a domestic Swiss and a Gruyère. I hope I said that right. It's a combination, 1 cup of each. I also have 1.5 cups of heavy cream and half and half combined. And there's, I want to say 1 cup of half and half and 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Didn't use the whipping cream, just the heavy cream right here. I also have right here is my fresh spinach, and I just use the baby spinach that's been cleaned, washed and dried, and I pat it down with paper towel. I also have right here in the front my pork sausage, and this is just a bulk sausage. Whatever you like, use it. You can use Italian sausage, but it gives it a little different flavor. So I would say try it with just a regular bulk sausage, a breakfast sausage, and then, experiment from there. And then right here I have 3 eggs in this large bowl. Right here are mushrooms, which are rough cut, along with our onions, which are rough cut, and our spices. And we've got basil, we've got thyme, the yellow spice there is going to be ground mustard. I've got black pepper, salt, and then I like to use like maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne, and then a pinch of the ghost pepper salt. I just like a little kick in my quiche, my egg pies. And then I have a nutmeg here, and we're going to grate that in our filling. Also, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to saute up our vegetables, and we're going to get started in just a minute. Pull all of this together for our spinach, mushroom, and sausage pie. Well, let's get this started. I've already preheated my pan, put my olive oil in. You'll see it's nice and hot. And this is on a medium-high heat, and I'm going to start with my onions, and you know how onions sizzle. So we're going to saute these onions in this olive oil, and until they're translucent. They're going to be relatively light in color, and we're just going to let them just saute. And as you do this, you're going to notice after about 2 to 3 minutes, they'll get a little golden, and that's great. That's what you want. But what you don't want to do is caramelize them. Okay, and we're just about there. Now we're going to add our bulk sausage, and this is just, as I said, plain breakfast sausage. Now, yes, if you don't want any sausage in it, you can absolutely make this without any meat at all, and it will be absolutely delicious. Alright, as you can see, our sausage is brown, and it's going to brown some more. I'm going to add our mushrooms. Let's get all of those out of there. Nope, you guys got to go too. No hanging around in the bowl. And we're going to saute in our mushrooms, and at this point I'm going to add my spices, all of them, and I'm just going to Sort of jiggle them around and sprinkle them in. And we're going to saute this, oh my goodness, I want to say probably for another 5-6 minutes until everything is pretty much golden. And then I'm going to turn the heat off and let it cool down, because I don't want to add this hot meat and vegetable mixture to the eggs. I want it to be cooled down at least to room temperature. And this is great. What's nice about this is if you want to make this part of your pie, your quiche, or I like to say my egg pie, up the night before and have it in the morning, or have it on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning, or just, I like to do these and have them throughout the week, because we're making little pies, so you don't have to make breakfast every morning. You can make this part of it in advance, have your crust ready, and of course I didn't say, but you can use a regular 9-inch pie crust. Just make sure it's deep dish. And if it's not the recipe I provided earlier, I did provide a pie crust recipe, you're welcome to use a store-bought pie crust. Just make sure, as I said before, it is deep dish. And you see how beautifully golden the mushrooms have gotten. And actually this hasn't taken 5 minutes. It's probably been only a couple minutes, 3 minutes, but I have it on a higher heat. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this just like this. It's going to cook a little bit more, and I'm going to cut the heat off. And I'll move it off of this pilot right here to another one and let it cool. And then we will assemble our pies. All right, let's assemble our spinach, mushroom, and sausage pie. I'm going to start by adding our cream to the eggs. And we're going to take our whisk, and we're just going to very gently whisk this together. And you can, if you want to break out your handheld mixer, that's fine, but it's really not necessary. And you just want to make sure that it's all incorporated. Then we're going to add our cheese. And I'm not going to add all of it. I'm going to leave a little bit out because I want to line the bottom of my pie crust with a little bit of cheese. And just stir it around. Now, you notice I did not put my spinach, saute it, because I'm breaking it up a little bit here so that it's really fine. And I probably won't use all of this. 2 cups is usually enough. I have a little bit more here, but I wanted to show you I break this up. And I do this because oftentimes when you saute your spinach, you know how it just wilts down to nothing, and I want to see my spinach in there. I don't want to see just streaks of green. So I'm going to add about 2 cups. And we're going to go, let's see, that should do it. Yeah, that should be enough. A little bit more. Alrighty, and then we're just going to mix this together. And as we fold this in, we're going to take our cooled, remember our cooled sausage mushrooms and onions, and we're going to put that in also. I guess I shouldn't put the pan right there so you can at least see what I've done. And we're going to mix all of this together. Now remember, I have this nutmeg right here in my grater, and I happen to like the flavor that the nutmeg gives the pie. But if you don't like it, don't use it. It's okay. And you just want to grate just a tiny bit. So we're going to grate a little bit here. I don't know, maybe that's enough. Oops. That's enough. Just about, I don't know, 1/8 of a teaspoon if you're using the pre-ground nutmeg, 1/8 or even less. All right. So let's fill our shells and get these pies in the oven. All right, let's fill our pie shells, and you'll notice I have a little porcelain bowl here, and if we have some extra that's left, I'm going to fill it in there. There may be people who don't want pie crust, or they just don't want any bread, and if you want to prepare this egg pie without a crust, you are welcome to do so. Just make sure that you use a well-greased baking bowl, or maybe a Pyrex, something like that, and make sure it is greased so it won't stick. So let's fill this. First we're going to take our cheese and we're going to put just a tiny bit at the bottom. And I do this because I like cheese throughout. I like it all over. And so I'll put this right here, and I'll put just a tiny bit in the bottom there. I think that's it. That's good. And we'll put the rest of that in our filling. And we're going to mix it really good, as I said before, and then very carefully we're going to fill our shells. And remember that when making this, you don't want to fill it all the way to the top, because it may bubble over and it'll be a mess, and nobody likes a messy oven. So we definitely don't want to do that. And let's take this one. And you'll see everything is in there. This is going to be amazing. All right, and we're going to take our little teeny tiny, our very tiny pie shell and fill it. And get those mushrooms in there with some more sausage. And I think that's going to be quite enough. And then I will take the rest of this and make sure that it goes in the pie shell. Perfect. The correct amount. And I'm going to pour that right in there. And that's it. Now these are all ready for the oven. And we didn't need this one, so we're going to take this, and we don't want any of this cheese to go to waste, so we're going to sprinkle it over the top. And then take a little bit of it and sprinkle it right here. And we're going to put these in the oven, and they need to bake for at least, I want to say 35 to 40 minutes, because they're little shells. 45 to 50 minutes if you're using a deep dish, a large 9-inch pie shell. And we're going to pop them in the oven, and when they're finished, I'm going to show you what they look like. Thank you for viewing my video. If you've got any questions or comments, put them in the comment box below. I look forward to sharing another video with you soon. And please subscribe and keep cooking with Danae. Bye.